Hello, everyone. I'm back with the weekly talk. I took a little break, a lot going on. I was also trying to figure out a new way to record my talks and spend less time editing and producing and all of that. So that's why I'm using this software with this corny transition. But I'm having fun doing this way, and at least I can be here more often. I'm also taking a break from the Gray Matter Project and the Fighting podcast because I don't want to post anything while I'm still taken by any emotion and feelings. My goal with those two projects is to talk about things with moderation and try to help or to lead people to think for their own and break free from group identity. So I really don't want to say anything that is just coming from the heart and not from the brain. So I'm taking a little time, but I will be back. June 22nd, we finally reopening our gym. I'm really happy to be able to do so. And I would like again to thank every single member of our gym that kept supporting us throughout the pandemic, the lockdown, through the fundraising, our lifetime members. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your help. Third thing is that we updated our rules of etiquette, rules of conduct, and also our health and safety precautions and procedures. We're going to keep those things from now on. We're not going to change much. Once we go back to normal on July 6th, that's pretty much the date that we have where when we can go back to grappling and full contact and sparring and etc. I will still keep some things in place, new things that we started. Number one is I really would like to not have anyone with any symptom of cold, flu, COVID, or any other viral or bacterial infection in the gym. So, first, easier way, listen to your body. If you have any fever, don't show up, let me know. And you are clear to come back as soon as you don't have any symptoms of whatever you have, right? Second thing, so we have a thermometer at the gym, so we can always check your temperatures. We can always make sure that you are clear from any fever. And that includes all adults and kids as well. Quick things also, we don't want anybody barefoot in the bathroom, of course, for, our own hygiene, right? I will keep asking people to clean their hands and their feet before entering the mat. So we're still going to have those bottles with diluted alcohol, with disinfectant spray, with the wipes and paper towels. It would be much better knowing that your friend that you're grappling with or sparring with have clean feet, clean hands, because we use all of them when we are especially grappling. And some other things, I have two new signs at the gym. Take a look if you have any symptoms of anything, dizziness, um, you know, I have a whole list there, like lightheaded, things like that. You should stop training, and some tips about hydration, nutrition, and etc. So, those are the things that we will keep in place from now on. We had it before, but now we will enforce more, just making sure that everybody's healthy. We added one more ozone generator. We have been running those ozone generators in between classes when nobody's there. We will remain cleaning the mats 4 or 5 times a day, sorry, 4 or 5 times a day. We almost never had anybody with the skin infections, but that's the main reason why I have been asking everyone, and I will be very, very strict with anybody leaving any equipment or uniform behind. The reason is, I know that sometimes you forget, but the reason is if you forget your uniform in the gym and if you forget your equipment in the gym, it means that you're not cleaning those equipments or uniforms properly. And that's the main way that you will end up developing any kind of skin infection. We clean the mats, like I said, 4 to 5 times a day. And we wipe the doorknobs, we wipe the padded walls, we will wipe everything, the bathroom all the time, and we clean. So we know that you're not getting from any surfaces in our gym. So if anybody get any skin infection that we haven't had in so long, and most of the people that had skin infections they brought from outside the gym, it's pretty much because you may be not cleaning your uniforms correctly or wiping your equipments after training. So I'll be enforcing that and asking everyone to be more careful with their equipments and uniforms. Take a look. If you have any questions, I sent an email with the rules of conduct and many other things. And we also going to keep the Google Classroom, because if you cannot be in class, you will be able to see what's going on. And also, if you don't have Facebook, maybe just do a quick account, but don't get into the whole drama on Facebook, just because inside our groups, under groups slash facebook.com/group/ATT Connecticut, it's a private group where I'll be always having a live feed of our classes, of the most of classes. So at least like if you're working far, if you're traveling for any reason, but you want to tune in from 5 o'clock to almost 9 o'clock every day, you just go online and you can see what's going on in our gym, how people have been training, etc. The main message from this weekly talk, and I will try to be brief here. If you have an Instagram, go to Luigi Mondelli BJJ and take a look at my last 2 posts. One is about our new t-shirt that we're going to get the proceeds, everything, all the money that we make from that, the profit that we make from that, we're going to choose a charity and we're going to donate. Is a t-shirt where we say, on the 6th we row equally united, and we have 2 arms like fist bump. For who does jiu-jitsu, we all know that we always slap and bump, right? That's how we start and finish our rolling. And we have 2 arms, one is a black, one is a white, but it represents all races. So the reason why I made that t-shirt, it's because I believe that us, especially in the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu community, the martial arts community, we can set an example to the rest of the society. Because in our gym, at least, I can speak for my gym, in our gym in particular, we know that we have people from all different walks of lives. We have many law enforcement people. We have people from different races, different countries, backgrounds, professions, levels of education. And the truth is, we never cared about anything besides how people have been acting, right? So I don't care, and I really don't care. It's like I don't have any other way to say it. Like, if you are black, white, Asian, Latino, or if you are Christian or Muslim or whatever, what's your sexual orientation, what is your opinion, political opinion, we really don't care about those things. We only care about having good connections with people and having the moderation and the ability to discuss ideas without getting offended. We don't want to silence anyone. We always gonna fight for our free speech, and this will be like my number one fight right now, is for our ability to speak our minds, as long as not a hateful thing. And what is a hateful thing is pretty much anything that is sexist, racist, and but and we know what is hate. But I want to defend the free speech in our gym. I want to really show to the rest of our society, especially in America, that martial arts schools, for the most part, the ones that I know, are great places where people can unite with others regardless of anything. And for me, saying this, it's even like the way that I was brought up, the way that I was raised and educated by my parents. It's even like, it's so unrealistic. It's so crazy to me, let's say, that people still act that way. And I don't want, like I said, I would never condone any violent act against other humans and against private property. And the reason why I say that is not because I put private property above lives. It's just because many times private properties are a representation of someone's life. And the reason why I say that, let me give you my own example. And I'm not making myself as an example. I'm just saying, like, I'm going to use my life as an example, because you guys can talk. If you don't have any example like this, you can use me. You can say, like, hey, my coach came to the United States 17 years ago with a broken English, $1,000 in his pocket. And I'm proud of myself for that. And it's kind of weird, but and he lived with 8 other people in a 4-bedroom apartment. He shared a bedroom with someone that he barely knew, and he worked 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, in all different jobs, not related to his computer engineer background at all. And after 17 years of hard work, perseverance, and the help of many people, he managed, even being a minority Latino, he managed to build a life in the United States. So if anybody destroyed my house, if anybody burned my house, if anybody burned my gym, they will be taking 17 years of my life away. They will be destroying all my sacrifices. They will be destroying everything I left behind to come to United States and build a new life. And the same way it could be someone that lived in a very poor neighborhood that had a really maybe not good education because of our system, and somebody that had to really fight 3 times or 5 times harder than anyone else, even though he shouldn't she shouldn't be haven't gone through this, but he or she fought so hard because of the prejudice in the society, because of the injustice. But that person had to fight so hard through a whole life to maybe have a little barber shop, to maybe have a little business, to have a flower shop, to have any type of small business, that all of a sudden violent people using different excuses destroyed, looted, burned. So for me, it's another way to take somebody's life. What I want to say is I will never condone any violent act from anyone. And that includes law enforcement. That includes anybody from any race, from any walk of life, for any reason. I'm not saying that you should not use force to protect your life. That's what I'm stand for when I teach self-defense and combatives. I will never look for trouble, and I always will try, always do everything in my power to de-escalate a violent situation, to try to talk myself out of a bad situation. I will always give my wallet and my cell phone or my car, but I will definitely always protect my home, and I will protect my family. And when I'm saying protecting my home, and I'm not saying protecting the things inside my home. I'm saying because if I'm home and my family is at home, that's my castle. Those are the people that I have to protect. But I always will do the right things within the law, within what is there for me to do without getting in trouble. But that's not being violent. That's about using force to protect the ones that you love and to protect yourself, because your loved ones need you. But if any student is involved in bar fights, in violent protests, in violent riots, or looting, or any police officer also involved in any brutal, unfair use of force, like we saw in George Floyd's case, I guarantee to you that if that person doesn't learn that we are not like that, and if that person doesn't change, that person not going to stay within our community. Our community, number one, our mission now is to set the example for the rest of the communities in our society that we are part of a group of people from all different backgrounds, races, religion, like I said, sexual orientation, countries, and etc. Number two, we have the duty to educate people to maybe not engage in those violent acts and teach people to change. We have to maybe give a second chance to somebody that had a bad previous past, right? Bad past. Maybe that person is looking for a change, so they are there because they want to change who they are or how they act. But also we have to protect our community against people that are extremists in any political spectrum, in any job, and in any way. So one, we set the example. Two, we try to change people by setting the example, by showing them who we are. And number three, we have to protect ourselves, not letting these people learn what we teach to use against others. So that's why we talk about kids not being bullies, but also kids not allowing anybody to bully them. That's why we talk about women, empowering women so women can defend themselves. That's why we try to, and we do a great job actually, teaching law enforcement guys, because all the law enforcement people that I have in my gym came with the same mission: to learn more, to use less, to learn more, to use proper technique, to not put a knee on the neck for 8 minutes. None of my police officers, none of my students that I love so much, my law enforcement friends, have ever done that. And if any one of them have used anything this in any situation, I guarantee that I will never be supporting anyone like that. In the same way, it could be anyone against anyone in any unfair and unjustifiable situation. I don't know if that's a word or not, but you guys know, a not justifiable situation. If you find yourself in a crisis, in a violent situation where you cannot de-escalate, where you cannot retreat, where you cannot leave your family behind, I still will always believe that you have the right to defend yourself. You have the right to protect yourself and protect your loved ones, but only do as much as needed to protect yourself. We are not anybody trying to do justice with our own hands. We're not anyone that will go out damaging properties and lives, a whole life of hard work, because we think we need to change the world with the violence, because violence will never going to change the world. That's what we're fighting against. We fight against violence. We fight against bigotry. And when we have people from far left or far right acting with bigotry, being unfair to weaker people, or more, vulnerable people, we cannot have those people inside our community. And we have to point out who they are and expel them. And I have done that in different grades in our gym. People that have become people that became bullies on the mats, like physically. And I couldn't have anybody like that hurting anyone in our gym. And I cannot have a higher rank student beating beginners for no reason. We don't have that, thank God. Or stronger men beating lighter men, or somebody smaller, or women. We cannot have that, and we don't have that. And we set an example, because usually what we do is we point out those people, and we remove them from our community if they are not willing to learn. So remember that we set the examples. We set an example as a community that accepts everyone for who they are. And we never look and judge them by the group that politicians are trying to put all of them inside. We don't want to hate any group. We don't want to hate at all. We don't want to have prejudice towards any group. And I will always in our gym say that we have to see each other as individuals, regardless of anything else. That's number one. We see individuals. That's it. We don't see groups. We only see individuals and how they act, how they carry themselves, and what they do to other people, right? How they act. Are they fair? Are they bigots? Are they good people? Are they helpful? They are not helpful. That's what matters, regardless of anything else. Number two, we try to educate these people to change them, to find moderation and common sense. Number three, if we cannot change them, and if those people don't want to change, they cannot be around us. And again, never, violence for us will never be the answer. Physically against other humans, or against property, against private property, against a whole person's life of hard work. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I'll never stand for that. So that's why our new t-shirt the proceeds and the profits from our new t-shirts are going to go to a charity that I'm choosing. Probably going to go to a soup kitchen here in Danbury that we always help. We say equally united, because on the mats, nothing matters besides how people act and in how who they are as individuals. And we translate this to the outside world. That's what I'm stand for, guys. And if you don't like my stance, you can respect me or you cannot train with me. It's your option. And that's the beauty of democracy. But I don't think I said anything here that is really bad, because I talk about not being violent. Anyway, it's still exercising our democratic, our right to protest in a democratic way, right? With education, with good platforms, with common sense, with love. When we show who we are with love, what people can say about us. If I get a torch and I try to change the world with a torch and beating people cowardly, how can I convince people that I'm really trying to change the world? Because in my opinion, when we do those kind of things, we become just like our oppressors. And if one thing I learned in life is, if I don't want to be like them, I will never act like them. That's how I think. Have a great week. Come back training. I love you guys. I really appreciate everything you guys did for American Top Team Connecticut. Exercise in moderation, and your love and your compassion. And hopefully we can promote better discussion, but always in a peaceful way. But never shying away from protecting ourselves, our loved ones, especially when we are inside our homes, when we cannot de-escalate, retreat, and move away from a threat. Our lives are gifts. Either if you believe or not in God, I still believe in my life it's a God's gift. And if I give to you with something, I would like you to keep it and take care of it. And that's what I do in my life, in everybody's life. Because if my life is important, and if my life is a gift, so yours. God bless you guys. Have a great week of training. That's it.